Hi everybody, today we are taking a look at the Always Fully Booked Planner by Little Inklings Design. They are a Canadian company, and this planner is the 2022 dated Always Fully Booked Planner. It's actually sold out. By the time I got it, it was sold out, so unfortunately you can't order this particular planner, but A, it can give you ideas for next year, and B, they actually have a undated version that is condensed. It's not quite as extensive as this, called the Novel Companion, which is half the price. So if you are really interested in a planner for readers, that's what they do. Little Inklings Designs, all their stuff that they make for the most part is geared towards people who love to read, which I am one of those. Then you should check them out. I bought this with my own money. This is not sponsored, and all opinions are, as always, uncensored and my own. So the price of this planner is $48 Canadian. I paid $38 US for it, plus $14 shipping. The cover size is 9 inches by 7.75 inches, including the coil. The coil height is 1.6. The interior pages are 6 by 9. I did not find paperweight info on the website. So we'll have to take a look at it when we do the testing of it. Now let's take a look inside the planner. So the cover is chipboard. It's a really beautiful cover. I kind of wish I could just not have the Always Fully Booked and just have the doodly background with the 2022. I think that would be beautiful. Not that I'm hating this. I just don't really see the need for it personally, but that's an aesthetic decision. It's a spiral coil, but it's one of those really like wide kind of loose spiral coils, which is, to me, better than wire O, but not as good as like a nice thick sturdy coil. So there is that. The cover, like I said, is chipboard. There is a strap that is grommeted to the back. Oh, I love. See, this is a bee. I love this pattern, like with the rainbow. So pretty. And then there are the corner protectors in gold. The inside of the planner has the same ombre rainbow, but it's polka dot instead of the doodles. And then we've got cover stickers in the front. These are on like a glossy paper. They are like standard thin, not sometimes, with the glossy, you get those sort of thick kind of cardstocky feeling stickers. These feel more like paper, but they are glossy. You have some different flags, some fun reading stickers, some stickers to note starting and finishing books, some 5-star stickers for reviewing, and some other bookish stickers and banners. So again, the majority of this stuff is geared towards reading. Here is your front page. Now the paper feels It's got like a thick printer paper kind of feel to it. Like it's got that kind of like, if I had to guess, I would say 28-pound paper maybe. It has the Always Fully Booked logo on it. This planner belongs to, and then the Little Inklings Designed. And the paper is kind of got a grayish cast to it. Here is your year to glance of 2022, January through December, with a Sunday start and a bit of that watercolory looking ombre on the top, which is just so pretty. Here's your important info. Star ratings. This is some book information, which I love. So it gives you a spot to write down what each of your star ratings means to you. There are some conversion formulas based on percentage of book read, audiobook time listened to page count, ebook percentage read to page count. So it gives you some conversions so you can figure out how far you are in a given book. Here is a list for your most anticipated books of the year, and then a legend or a key that you can use for any symbols you want to use throughout the planner. Here is a page with some blank boxes to put in your 2022 goals. They can be your goal, you can use however you want to, right? Like if I was going to use this planner just for a reading planner, it would be my goals for books to read, maybe how many books to read, maybe books in different genres to read, if you wanted to get that granular with it. I tend to be a spur of the moment, reading whatever catches my fancy, so this kind of thing might not really be up my alley, but I know some people get very, very kind of, what does my husband do? He plays World of Warcraft, and my husband's a gamer, and one of the things he loves to do is, I think it's called min-maxing, where you're basically trying to continually optimize your character or your interface or whatever to be the best it can be. And there are some people I know who that's how they approach reading. So that could be good for this. Here is an A to Z challenge. Try to read one book for every letter of the alphabet. For a bigger challenge, titles that start with A or the, like The Catcher in the Rye or A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, those don't count. Any book that contains the letter X or Z count for those letters, which is good because I don't know how many books. I guess if you're reading like a biography of Xerxes, maybe. Ooh, okay, maybe I do want to keep this planner. Here's the 2022 fully booked reading challenge. So you've got a book with a number in the title, a book published the month you were born, a 2021 award-winning book, a debut book, an own voices book. The fuck is an own voices book? This is off of the Google, but it says own voices is a term that was coined by young adult author Corinne Duovis. I think I butchered that. The term refers to books about characters from underrepresented or marginalized groups in which the author shares the identity, so the writing is inspired by their own experiences. The first one at the top of the list that I Googled was The Hate U Give, as an example. All right, that's cool. A book with time travel, a book based on a true story, a book with a color in the title, a book that makes you laugh out loud, a book with an LGBTQIA+ protagonist, a book with an animal sidekick or pet, a book recommended by an author, a book with a non-human protagonist, a book with a classical element in the title, a book inspired by mythology or folklore, a book from an indie author, a book from a genre you don't normally read, a graphic novel, a book from a Black or Indigenous people of color author, a book based on the cover. A book based on the cover? What the hell does that mean? Book based on the cover? Oh, I guess it means like if you picked a book based just purely on the cover. A book you read in less than 48 hours, a book with a location you'd love to visit, a classic you haven't read before, a book you've seen somebody else reading, a book with an alliterative title, a book written before 2012, a book that surprised you, a book that's been on your TBR for over a year, a book recommended by a friend or family member, and a book everyone is talking about. And then over here is a genre reading challenge. We've got fantasy, romance, historical fiction, mystery or suspense, science fiction, nonfiction, contemporary, horror, thriller, poetry, and classics. I think actually I probably could check 2 of those off already. What does The Leftovers count as? I'm going to just continually Google in this entire video. It's a psychological fiction, so I wonder if contemporary or horror thriller, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, moving on. The Reading Rainbow Challenge, read books with covers of every color in the rainbow. And there's hashtags for some of these. On the Cover Reading Challenge, read books with covers featuring the following: animal, water, flag, a whole bunch of shit, right? And then we've got the Around the World Reading Challenge, whether you use a book setting, where an author is from, or a mix of both. Complete this challenge by reading at least 1 book for each location, which, again, I could check off North America and Europe. I've read other books, but I've read The Leftovers, and I've read Courtesan, which is a historical fiction book about Diane de Poitiers. And I'm about to start reading a book about Catherine the Great, so that would be Russia. Kind of want to keep this. Then I guess you use this to color in or write in all the books you read, like as a tracker. Your reading checklist gives you the books you've read, your rating of them, and then you check them off when they're done. And you have 1, 2, 3 spreads, which is a whole bunch of books to potentially read. Here is a book series tracker, so that you can use the grid here to check off the number of books. So if I was going to do Wheel of Time, this is 8 books per line, so I need 2 lines because there's 14 books in the series, right? But series tracker. And then this is Battle of the Books. So this is to, I guess, find like your favorite book, like kind of like a March Madness sort of situation, a tournament breakdown. Here is a page to put in some of your favorite book quotes. Another set of quote pages, another set of quote pages. Here's a movie tracker with the same rating system and the date you saw it. A TV tracker where you can keep an eye on either the episode or the seasons you're watching. A wish list with item from and price. 5-star reads, all the books you rated as 5 stars and how you read them. Where is it audiobook, physical book, or digital like Kindle type book. Here's your favorite books of 2022, January through December. And for January, I would put that book Courtesan. I really enjoyed it. You need to pick 1 book per month, or you can print out a sticker of the cover and stick it there if you wanted to. That could be cool. So the divider is on slightly thicker paper, not quite cardstock, but closer to cardstock. And then the tab is laminated. This color of the tab and like the dividery area is reflected in the color here. It's a Sunday start, it's dated, and there are no holidays printed on it. Here is a to-do list on the side and a spot to put your most anticipated book of the month. Then here's your like planning for the books you're going to read in the month. Here's your month, year, the books you want to read this month, author and title, new releases coming out this month, date and title. And then here is the planner. Oh, I thought I got the vertical spread. I guess I got the horizontal spread. Whatever. Obviously I'm paying attention. So you have your month at the top, you have your date and then your day in the like hand lettered font. And then there's like the dots that go across the top. The number of the day is in the same color as the month. It gives you just a blank space and then a spot to put how much you read, which you can use that conversion chart for. And so that just goes for the length of the month. Also should add every page gives you a notes section, which has the lines, but the lines are dotted. Then at the end, it gives you a spot to write down all of your, it says bookish haul. So technically it says book or item. You could use this for anything you bought. But if you just want to keep track of your books that you bought, you get them here. And then here's your reading wrap up. The number of books you read, the best book you read, the pages, how many pages you read, how many hours you listened, the number of books you did not finish, the format, how many books did you read in print, how many did you read in ebooks, how many did you do in audiobook, the genres you read, what you're currently loving. I guess this could be for a quote. And then here's a list to check off the books you read. It could be, or it could have been like a, I don't know, some other list. You have a dot grid page and the dots are, like at a glance, I feel like they look a little smaller than 5mm. Nope, they're 5mm. With like a dark gray dot grid and then a lined notes page. Then we're into February, which is pink. And we just continue with the setup. I think this so far is my favorite of all of the spreads. I love the flower, but I love kind of the retroness of it. I do also love how they're all kind of different. This could be a little chaotic for some people because they are so different from each other. You kind of like go from this sort of like more line arty style to this like kind of retro style. But for me, I like the variety and I like that all the quotes are reading related. It also looks like in every quarter, at the end of the quarter, you have a quarterly check-in, which gives you a spot for your current loves, book, author, character, TV show, movie, music, food, beverage, and place I visited, a genre breakdown, a progress on how many books you want to read for the year, your reading stats, basically added up from every month, all the same stats, memorable moments, goals, progress, and books I need to read in the next quarter. So this is at the end of every quarter. So at the end of December, you have the same quarterly check-in, all the same stuff, then same quarterly check-in. You have a couple of coloring pages, which are really cute. And then you have your book review section, of which there is a whole bunch of pages, and each spread has room for 4 books. So the book review section has title, author, when you started, when you finished, where you got it from. So was it from your collection? Did you get it from the library? Did you get it from an advanced reader copy, like from a publisher or somewhere else? The length, the format you read it in, the publication date, and your thoughts on the book, plus a spot for your star rating, whether you posted it on something like Goodreads, and then whether or not you recommend it, and the genre. And so you have room for 4 reviews per spread, and you have a massive shit ton of spreads. So you could review a good number of books with this planner. And then we have your 2022 reading wrap up. So your favorite books, series, standalone, author, book cover, characters, setting or bookish world, movie, TV show, and place I visited for the year, your top 10 books, your overall reading stats and whether or not you completed your reading goal, things you learned, memorable moments, and then an empty column for you to use for whatever. Then you've got some more stuff to write in here, genres read, book format breakdown, star rating breakdown. And what you can do here is use colors, like fill the circle in. Like I think you could use them as like a pie chart. So like for the genres read, you write in your genres, you put in what color, like with a mild liner, and then you fill in the pie chart based on the percentage of books you read in that year, in that genre. Same for the book format, same for the star ratings. You can kind of get an overall picture of your reading habits for the year. And then this is your pages read. So every month, use your key here and then graph out how many pages you read. And with the key, you could potentially graph it out based on pages read in a physical book versus a Kindle versus an audiobook. Then you have a few grid note pages, then you have a few lined notes pages, and that is the end of the planner. There is a paper, God, fucking nails. I'm getting my nails done today, and I cannot get this up. There we go. So there is a very snug pocket here on the back of the planner, and then here is the end. So now that we've gotten through the planner, let's test the paper quality. Like I said, it is gray cast. There isn't a lot of tooth to it, but I do not know what the paper weight is. So for the pen test, I'm using a Pentel 07 needle tip gel pen, a Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Fine Liner, Tombow dual brush pen, Zig clean color dot marker, and a Zebra mild liner. All right, so I'm heavy-handed for one. For two, I press down lightly and then harder with the Zig clean color dot marker, and then with the highlighter, I made sure to do a double pass. All right, so we've got shadowing basically with everything, but there's very, very little, if no ridging. Nothing bled through except for maybe right where I set the Tombow down. So I would say that you want to probably be a little careful with like heavy-handed marker use in this planner, but the paper performs decently. Overall, I think this is a really fun planner. Now, I know I said in a recent video, I don't remember what video it was. It might have been like things I learned or my 21 and 2021 or something, but I mentioned that like tracking or setting book reading goals was not something I really wanted to get into, but I love the idea of this for keeping track of my reading. I love the idea of it. I just don't know if I would use it. So I don't know if I'm going to give it away or not. I might give it away. Keep an eye on the YouTube community tab for that. I don't know. I kind of want to use it though. It's a fun planner. It's if you love to read, you love to read and you love to really like not just read, but like keep track of your reading. This is a really fucking rad planner. You could use this as a weekly planner, especially if you don't have a ton of shit going on, but just using it as a reading journal, it might be excessive for some people. It might be excessive for me, but you could use like your daily pages for notes and I don't know. This is a cool planner. I really like this. I'm glad that you guys suggested I take a look at it, and I'm going to do some real thinking about whether or not I think I might want to use this for this year, because the whole time I was reading it, I was thinking about how I could put in the books I've already read. I don't know. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below, as well as any other planners you would like me to take a look at. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, peace.